On March 23, 2021, the 400-meter-long Ever Given container ship wedged itself across the Suez Canal, halting 12% of global trade and costing the world economy roughly $9.6 billion in daily trade volume during its 6-day blockage. Located on the Isthmus of Suez in Egypt, this 193.3-kilometer sea-level waterway connects the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, effectively bridging the distance between Europe and Asia while bypassing the treacherous, 8,900-kilometer detour around the Cape of Good Hope. The historical roots of this passage trace back to the 12th dynasty, specifically the reign of Senusret III around 1850 BCE, when ancient engineers constructed the Canal of the Pharaohs to link the Nile River to the Red Sea. Centuries of neglect followed, but the region remained a strategic prize. However, the lack of modern maintenance led to the canal silting up, creating immense logistical challenges for regional trade until Napoleon's surveyors rediscovered the ancient route in 1798. In 1956, Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser fundamentally altered the geopolitical landscape by nationalizing the Suez Canal Company, a move that triggered the tripartite aggression as British, French, and Israeli forces invaded the Sinai Peninsula to reclaim control. Looking at the map, we see the canal acting as a vital artery between Port Said in the north and Suez in the south, serving as the primary maritime gateway for energy exports flowing from the Persian Gulf toward European markets. Throughout the 19th century, Ferdinand de Lesseps led the massive construction effort from 1859 to 1869, utilizing thousands of laborers to carve through the desert, eventually establishing a neutral zone under the 1888 Convention of Constantinople to guarantee free passage. The 20th century transformed the canal into a global energy lifeline, as the post-World War II industrial boom necessitated the rapid transport of crude oil from Middle Eastern fields to the rapidly expanding refineries of Western Europe and North America. A critical milestone occurred in 1967, when the Six-Day War forced the canal to close for 8 years, a duration that fundamentally reshaped global shipping logistics and accelerated the development of massive supertankers designed to traverse the Cape route. Today, the canal remains the primary transit point for over 1 million barrels of oil and approximately 8% of global liquefied natural gas trade daily, making it an indispensable pillar of the international energy security architecture as defined by the EIA. Historians have long warned that reliance on a single maritime passage creates profound systemic fragility, a reality underscored by the 1956 crisis which demonstrated that European powers could no longer act independently of U.S. financial influence during the Cold War. Recent years have seen renewed instability, specifically the 2021 grounding of the Ever Given, which exposed the vulnerability of global supply chains to single-point failures, forcing shipping companies to reconsider their dependence on the narrow, 300-meter-wide channel. Comparing the eras, we see a shift from 19th-century colonial control to a modern, sovereign Egyptian asset, yet the underlying strategic importance remains unchanged as the canal continues to facilitate roughly 40% shorter voyages than alternative maritime routes. For the ordinary Egyptian citizen, the canal is not just a logistical marvel but a critical source of national revenue, with the Suez Canal Authority reporting a record $9.4 billion in transit fees during the 2022/2023 fiscal year alone. The most recent headline event involves the southern approach at the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, where Houthi militant attacks have forced major shipping lines to divert vessels, highlighting the persistent danger of chokepoint dependency in an era of geopolitical volatility. Geologically, the Suez is a unique triumph of engineering because it requires no locks to navigate, as the Mediterranean and Red Seas share a similar elevation, allowing ships to transit the entire 193-kilometer length at sea level without vertical lifting. In response to these evolving threats, the Suez Canal Authority has implemented rigorous security protocols and completed the New Suez Canal project in 2015, which added a 35-kilometer parallel channel to increase daily vessel capacity and reduce wait times. The Egyptian government views the canal as a symbol of national pride, memorialized in museums and public monuments that celebrate the 1869 completion and the 1956 reclamation, reinforcing the waterway's status as a central pillar of Egyptian identity and diplomacy. Few realize that the 1888 Convention of Constantinople remains the primary legal framework for the canal, explicitly mandating that the waterway must remain open to all vessels in both peace and war, a standard still upheld by the 1979 Egypt-Israel Peace Treaty. Understanding the Suez Canal reveals why geography, historical memory, and policy choices remain the bedrock of global stability, as this narrow strip of water continues to dictate the flow of energy and goods that sustain the modern interconnected world economy. Beyond its role in oil transit, the canal serves as a barometer for global inflation, as delays in the Suez quickly ripple through manufacturing sectors, causing shortages in everything from electronic components to consumer goods across the entire European continent. Ultimately, the Suez Canal stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring power of geography, proving that even in our digital age, the physical control of maritime chokepoints remains the most decisive factor in the maintenance of global prosperity.